Hello and welcome to Reviews. Oh, Avengers, Avengers, Avengers. This issue, actually not too bad. I'll say that right out front. The book is still being killed its flow with these uh issues like the previous issue where we had the Iron Fist, where it jumps back to the Avengers 1 million BC. It's really breaking up the flow. And, we had the Atlantis attacks thing going on, then the Winter Guard, a lot of these things being set up, but nothing really feels resolved. So right now we're in the War of the Vampires, the Vampiric Civil War. And I'm at the point now. It's like, okay, is the storyline going to finish, or is it just going to kind of get abruptly stopped? But anyway, about this issue, it covers. Everyone looks a little bit chunky, and I'm not going to mention She-Hulk. You know how I feel about that, but saying it. They're doing this whole War of the Realms is coming in 2 months. We've been seeing um, advertisements for that. I really have no interest in that. Um, I don't know. So this banner is just have to wait for that to go through. I don't even know if that's going to be an Avengers thing. I don't really know much about it. I just haven't been interested enough to look into it. So now we're full into this whole vampiric uh, Civil War thing going on. If you remember, Wasp, Janet Van Dyne rescued Blade. He was being held in the Castle Dracula, and there's something going on. There's a civil war breaking out, and we saw the plane being attacked when uh, Blade was carted away. Uh, but the problem is, it all seemed to escalate really quickly. I'll show you what I'm saying here. So it starts off with people breaking in. Uh, Castle Dracula is in flames. Vampires are just being completely wiped out. Um, even this one part here about the sentries at the gate. But they've never faced anything quite like the rotary cannon, currently firing 2,000 wooden stakes a minute into their undead hearts. Or this here, where they're using rats filled with sunburst grenades. They're scurrying through the castle's corridors, um, killing every man, woman, and murderous child. Which, you know, this has been addressed in other media. Vampire children. God, that must suck. To never be able to grow up. Yeah, I know that's been dealt with in Interview with the Vampire and everything, but um, so here we find what's causing it. This guy called the Shadow Colonel. Um, he's in charge of basically these undead vampire. Well, actually, all vampires are undead, but he's looking for Dracula. And the Shadow Colonel and his Legion of the Unliving have just slaughtered the most dedicated vampire disciples of the Lord of Vampires. So, not sure where all these people came from. This small group is just wreaking havoc. Where he's like the heavily armed guy. He looks like power armor. He looks like someone from the Brotherhood of Steel. He's got this demon dog. And the other people we don't really know. This guy's armored. I don't know who these two women are. We got this man bat thing hanging upside down. Don't know who any of these people are, other than the Shadow Colonel. Blade is attacking people, and we're like, where's he at? Well, he's on a plane, and they make bathroom jokes. Um, your blood's not even worth drinking. We'll flush it down the toilet once we're done tearing you to pieces. Yeah, I wouldn't go in there for a while if I was you. Okay, you know what? It really helps to read um, Blade's voice and Wesley Snipes' voice. It really helps because I never really liked Blade as a uh, banter type person. So, attention passengers, those of you who are not vampires, please move to the rear of the plane. If you have a bunch of vampires in a plane, not sure how many passengers are still safe. How did the Avengers get onto this plane? There's a lot of questions to this. Obviously you see the captain's been bit, he's been killed. Um, how did the Avengers get there so quickly? How did they get on the plane? But Carol is going to land it while she still has another vampire. Is he attacking her? Or is he just a vampire mime? That's a, you know, has that been a genre, vampire mimes? Feels like that's an untapped genre. You have my word as an Avenger. This is your captain speaking. Yeah, yeah. Not my captain, hashtag. So, yeah. We have the plane is just covered with vampires. But why? Are they fleeing? Are they using the plane? Are they attacking Blade? And, he's still, fighting them off as they're saying, if we stop running, we're all dead. And, okay, so I guess they're all. It looks like they're attacking, but it looks like they're trying to flee. I'm not quite sure what the art is trying to get across with there. So Blade pulls out his silver nunchucks and says, when Captain Marvel, asks, "How's it going back there?" Silver nunchucks. That's how it's coming. Now leave me alone. It's time to murder the donuts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's some topical jokes there. Yeah, if you're a tree. Come on, the Dunkin' Donuts commercials were 25 plus years ago. Really? And even Captain Marvel says that's not really how the expression goes, but okay. Oh, you see, that's why. Yeah, you know what? It's banter. Everyone banters in this book. So yeah, Blaze just still keeps fighting them, and then we cut over to Wakanda, where Black Panther and Iron Man go underneath it basically because they have vampires swarming in, and because all the clans are fighting one another, and because of Dracula has he's fleeing, and because of the Shadow Council or whatever, the Shadow Colonel, so we have all the different clans. Some are fighting, some are fleeing, and I sure hope this doesn't turn to be into some anvil heavy refugee problem via vampires. I really worry about that. So Black Panther tries to tell them that he'll help them if they just stand down. They won't. So he and Iron Man are using solar charged weaponry to kill them. Is this something Black Panther can do? You see, I remember when his suit was pretty much like mostly cloth and vibranium, and um, I guess this is something he can do now. Shoot sunlight from his hands with his weapons. That's what Tony's doing. Is this going to be a thing where Black Panther does just whatever the plot demands? I I get it. I get it. Black Panther, there's a big push. His movie did fantastic. So now he's going to lead the Avengers. He's going to be able to do everything. But come on, sunlight flares from his gauntlets. And of course, we have the different perspectives. Tony's, trying not to think about these people he's killing. And Black Panther sees it as, each time he failed, blah, blah, blah. Pitying the vampires. It's really hard. So we go back to Romania. And this is what I'm talking about. We could have had a build-up, but now there's just vampires everywhere. And so Captain America is helping people flee into a church. Thor shows up to help. And we do get this really cool moment where Cap basically talks down to the vampires. He stands up to them and talks down to them. And, they say that the vampires are saying that the old country's gone to hell. Count Vlad's in the wind. If we're going to fly ourselves out of here before sunup, we're going to need an awfully big dinner first. So bring out the villagers. Now, Cap is offering to help them. We can relocate you. Provide medical care and synthetic blood supplies. They turn it down. So Cap, brandishes a cross. That's kind of awesome for some reason. It almost looks like it'd be a what if story. By the way, have they ever said what Cap keeps in these pouches? Since they've kind of altered his uniform years ago to that. Just kind of curious. So now we're back to the Monster Metropolis, a huge thing underground, where buildings under Manhattan. Manhattan's an island. I mean, being this cavernous underneath, wouldn't that kind of destabilize it? Shouldn't Manhattan now have sinkholes if they have entire city buildings underneath it? So here we have She-Hulk and Ghost Rider. Oh god. Vampires fight Hulk or go to hell. I'm trying to just ignore what they're doing with She-Hulk. You know, my favorite character. So during all this, Robbie sees this kid talking to him, who knows who he is, blah, blah, blah. This is going to be Mephisto, since we saw that. I know all the writers' names going back to the very first, the little ghost in the snow. And, he's trying to tell Robbie that he's going to be the worst there ever was, the biggest monster. And She-Hulk says, who Rider Man talk to? Vampire smashing city. Time for other plan. Jen Walters, lawyer, smart. She was smart in her Hulk form. Why have we backslid her character to her early appearances? It's not even the whole physical thing, that they're making her all beefy and bulky, whatever. Don't make her stupid. Why would you take a female character who was smart in both her forms and make her dumb? I mean, yeah, that's the whole big Bruce Banner thing. But she's different. Okay, fine. Just way we practice. Hulk plus Rider Man plus Hellcar equal Fireball Special. It really bugs me. It really bugs me about this. Oh, every time I see that, why would you do that to your character? Why would you make them worse? So, we cut back to Transylvania. No real clear cut here, so it doesn't say, Transylvania, or sorry, Romania. And Thor shows up, the vampires start retreating, because here's where the Shadow Colonel introduces himself. But I can settle all of our problems, gentlemen, yours and mine both, right here and now, without us having to see each other ever again. All you Avengers gotta do is answer one simple question for me. Where do I find Dracula? And so the Avengers bring him back to Avengers Mountain, and they handcuff him. So what do they decide to do? Interrogation. Yeah, Captain Marvel, Carol has this dumb line. So how do you want to handle this? The old good cap, bad cap routine? Actually, I think we have someone a bit better suited for this particular job. Enter Blade. Blade tries to interrogate him, and it doesn't go well. The Shadow Colonel just insults him and gets under his skin until he finally snaps and throws him against the wall. And the Shadow Colonel says, "Ha, you want me to shut up? I thought this was supposed to be an interrogation. You haven't even asked me why I'm here yet." Cap's like, "I don't like how this is going." And Captain Marvel says, "Hey guys, what happened to his dog?" So we go down to the dock here, and Robbie is kicking his devil car, asking, tell me what the hell I am. How did that kid know so much about me? And is it what he said that I'm a... And then Tony pipes in, here it is. Hey, this is Tony up in the Brainbrary. Is that really what we're calling it? Anyway, I just saw a dog that growled at me and disappeared into the walls. Is Ghost Dog a thing we're supposed to have now? Yeah, that'd be awesome. If we had Forrest Whitaker on here? Oh, that would kick ass. I love that movie. I might go watch that again after this. That's a good movie. So yeah, I'm going to stop it here because, we find out that the Ghost Dog is not there. We find out more about him. And, I shouldn't say more about, we find out he's coming after Robbie. And yeah, stop here. I don't want to give away too much. We do find out a little bit more with the Winter Guard, what's going on over there. Anyway, like I said, this issue's not bad. The problem is with this book is its pacing. Overall, it's inconsistent. It starts building up, and I've said this time and time again, and then it stops to do this Avengers 1 million BC thing, where we focus on one character, and then we come back in. And if that's It almost feels like it may be a lazy way for Jason Aaron to skip ahead time, where now suddenly the civil war of the vampires is in full effect, and it's kind of bad because the issues don't build well, um, and now we're suddenly into like it's like he just wants to write the cool parts. He wants to skip the beginning and the end and just write the cool parts. And we're up to issue 14 now. And yeah, we had the Celestial first arc, which I had trouble getting into. I said it at the time. Um, we had the Namor one. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over with this book. Um, and I'm really worried that this book is, with this storyline, that we have the War of the Realms coming in 2 months. Um, is this is this vampire storyline going to wrap up in just 2 more issues? Um, what exactly is going on? We know Dracula is he's fleeing. Um, we have the Shadow Colonel after him. Who is this guy? We have, excuse me, frog in my throat. We only have 2 issues. Yeah, I'm assuming from the War of the Realms. Um, is this storyline going to conclude successfully? And oh my God, are we going to turn this? And I may be speaking out of turn here, but is this going to be a metaphor for the refugee crisis? Because if so, it's going to fall really badly. Because here we have the Avengers, if you notice, they are trying to help the vampires. Cap talks about relocating them, giving them synthetic blood, where it has always been shown in the Marvel Universe that the vampires are chaotic evil. Okay? It's not like they could be redeemed. You have a member on your team, Blade, who is a vampire hunter. He doesn't try to rehabilitate them. He tries to kill them outright. And so I'm a little bit worried that they might be trying to turn this into an allegory for the refugee crisis. Yeah, that's I'm a little concerned about that, especially after what we find on the last panel, the last page of the book. Anyway, I'm not even really into vampires, but I'm interested in this. I kind of wish how we saw this go so widespread so quickly. We just saw the little bit, and now in this issue, it's full on. They're getting into Wakanda. They're getting into Manhattan. Um, unless they were already there, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It just feels like we've been thrown, and I've been following this book from the beginning, and I'm like a little lost on how they got everywhere so quickly. So yeah, points off on that. Um, the art is about the same as it's been. I feel it's overly inked, but you're doing a vampire story at night, so it's forgivable. It's tonally correct. I will give it on that. Um, yeah, you know how I feel about She-Hulk. I'm not even going to say anything about that and how they're making her dumb. But anyway, this issue, not so bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Somewhere between a 2:30 and 3 o'clock. I'll go 2. I'll go full 2 o'clock. Um, again, pacing's overall the series it's bad. Um, it's really hurting the book, but I have my worries that this storyline's going to conclude. That's going to conclude well. But for what you get in this issue, there's a lot going on, and I enjoyed it for that. So, we'll see what happens in issue 15. Anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. I do read them, try to respond as I can. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.